Welcome back to the D2D Real Estate Show. Today we are talking about agents and why they fail and why there's such a high percentage of failure rate in year number one of real estate. Upwards of some places saying 90% of agents fail.
Isn't that crazy?
So why in the world is that?
I think they all expect just to get their license and have deals just funnel in because they post on social media and say, I'm a new real estate agent, and expect deals just to start coming to them.
It's going to start raining on them.
Right.
And surprise, it doesn't.
No.
It doesn't do that.
Not at all.
Because everybody on there on Facebook, they know lots of other people on Facebook who are agents already.
Yeah. Or 4 or 5 other people that are agents.
Okay, so what behaviors are they not doing, these real estate agents, that they should be doing in order to succeed?
That's a good question. I think most brokerages, when you join a brokerage, the first thing they want you to do is get a list of your friends and family. And that's what they harp on is you've got to reach out to your friends and family and tell them you're a real estate agent. But in reality, your friends and family know you're a brand new agent. They know that you don't have any experience. And working with friends and family, we always heard the saying, you want to stay clear of that. But in a bigger way, this is the biggest transaction people are ever going to face. They don't want to use someone's inexperienced, even if it's a friend or family.
And how limited is your sphere of influence? I mean, when you add up all your friends and all your families that are sort of your close people, what is it, 200, 300? I don't know the number. And how many of them are actually going to transact in your first month as a real estate agent or the second month as a real estate agent?
Very few.
No, but a lot of agents come into the business saying, well, I'm just going to focus on my SOI. And your broker's going to tell you, just focus on your SOI. You're going to be in good shape, and it's going to take right off.
I think that's a big thing. A lot of brokerages don't put forth the training. They literally focus on that because they don't have to train and put forth the effort. And they still take a big percentage of 2 or 3 deals that the agents make. And it's a big revolving door. So they're recruiting 40 to 50 people a month into these brokerages and making great money. But that's why most agents are falling out.
So they're teaching them to go after their SOI, but they don't teach them what is a much more important skill is go after the people you don't know.
Well, and I think even teach them how to go after their SOI. I think they're just saying, hey, get a list of your friends and family and call them and bug them, and you'll get a deal out of it.
Yeah, so the effective way to get to that SOI, exactly, or in my case, like going after the people that you don't know because there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. You look on your MLS, how many thousands of deals are being closed right now?
Thousands.
So go after the pool of people that you don't know.
So, Craig, what are some of the things you've done that could benefit a new agent as they start in the business?
Well, I think a few things. One of those things critical is time blocking. And when I'm saying time blocking, the most important thing you need to time block is your prospecting activities. And yes, SOI needs to be a really critical part of that for sure. But it has to be a very systematic way you're going to approach it on a daily basis, and you block out those hours in a day. Like Duane, when you started yourself, I mean, how many hours did you time block specific to prospecting?
Like 7 hours a day because I needed business.
Okay, and it came.
Yeah, it did.
And it came pretty much immediately. What would you think? I mean, this is just us guessing. The average agent spends on prospecting every day.
The average person makes about 7 contacts a day. So that means they ask 7 people if they've ever thought about buying or selling a house. And that seems like it's so low if they want to make any money.
Okay, how many were you contacting?
I was doing about 50 a day. And
Okay.
I was doing about 5 days a week. So we're talking 250 contacts a week.
Okay, and that was translating into 10 plus deals
A month.
a month.
Yeah.
Which is basically more than a year's worth of deals for a lot of agents.
For sure.
Happening month on one. So yeah, so when you ask me the question, okay, one thing I say time blocking, you're prospecting and really going after that.
But the other thing too, Craig, is as you time block, you also have to take time for the clients you're dealing with to make sure you're giving great service. So time blocking is huge. When you talk about that, you've got to take time to follow up. You've got to take time to do all of the necessary things to make sure you're giving the best customer service to your clients. It's not just about, hey, I've got to get more deals and got to get more deals. There are systems that you have to put in place.
Well, and how helpful when your brokerage actually can provide those systems for you.
Right.
They can provide the staff for you, the systems that allow you to spend more time prospecting and less time with clients, but the time with clients is certainly critical. But having those systems in place certainly help.
One thing that I would say has impacted what I've done is research. As a new agent, you've got to know your stuff. People have to trust you and believe you, and you've got to be able to platform that somewhere. So if you can get into social media and you can get into telling people what you know, why you know, and why they should use you, that is going to change your life as a new agent. You've got to get info. So do a lot of research.
Yeah, so something that I have done throughout my career when it comes to market research is I want to be aware of the properties that are coming up on the MLS. And so when I say that, I set up listing alerts for myself, and not just like 3 or 4. I literally have dozens that hit my inbox every single morning. My morning routine, the first 30 to 60 minutes of my day is simply going through the listing alerts that I've set up. And I have specific ones, and again, dozens of them, and a reason for each one of those listing alerts that comes up. Because I learned really early on in my real estate career, buyers don't want agents. They want properties. Once they figure out you have the properties, they will want you. It's that simple. And so I set up dozens of listing alerts for myself, covering different categories, geographies, product types. So I was aware of what was on the market so I could educate the public of what properties were available. Once they figured out I had the properties that were coming to me.
But at the same time, Craig, what do you think you're learning as you're looking at properties daily? How well do you know price per square foot? How well do you know the market?
Right, exactly. And then it helps you jump on the great opportunities very quickly. And it also helps you know which opportunities you really should advertise on social media that can drag eyeballs to you really fast because you know which opportunities are really good.
So as you go into a neighborhood, can you say, hey, I know these homes are selling for about this price, and this one's overpriced, this one's a good deal? What kind of things are you picking up from having those market analysis sent to you every day?
Hey, here's part of the coolest thing. So when you're rubbing shoulders with your neighbors, whether it's just at a community event or just saying hi in the streets, whatever it may be, they know you're an agent. If they know a listing hit the market neighborhood before you knew it, how does that make you look? Yeah. And so the coolest times you can just drop awesome pieces of information with your neighbors is when you're able to let them know these very things, like, hey, this property just came up, and you can let them know, and they'll ask, well, is that overpriced? Is it underpriced? And you know exactly what the answer would be. And what's cool is when you have these alerts set up, not just for your own neighborhood, but other neighborhoods as well, and you meet, people through whatever means you're using to meet people. You may know a neighborhood that's miles away. You may know that neighborhood exceptionally well just because you've been watching those listings that have been popping up in that neighborhood. And you can answer people's questions exceptionally quickly, gain their trust, and gain their business.
I also think from a different perspective that a lot of agents don't think about, it also gives you the ability to negotiate because the other agents may not have the same knowledge, and you can share, hey, I know of this house and this house in that neighborhood, and this is why we should get it at this price. So it gives you not just clout with your clients, but also clout to be able to negotiate for them and help them get the best prices.
Okay, so we've highlighted here that like market research, market knowledge, properties that are coming up, critical aspects of what you need to know as an agent, time blocking, prospecting. What other things are agents needing to do so they don't just fail right there in year number 1?
I think just getting out there, you've got to get in front of people. If you're not getting in front of people, you have 0 chances of closing a deal. And if you're contacting 7 people, if you're not talking to people, if you're not getting on phones, if you're not going out and cold calling, if you're not calling your SOI, if you're not holding events, you've got to get in front of people.
So a marketing plan that involves hitting a certain number of contacts. So something I was taught many, many years ago, success. If you look at that word success, the S in that success means see the people. The U means you see the people. Now the C means see the people, right? And you can go down through each one of those letters, but basically it all goes back to see the people. If you don't see the people, you're not going to survive in real estate. So do you have a written marketing plan, and are you following that marketing plan every single day?
You have to. And if you don't, you're not going to succeed.
And you can't just expect you're going to go onto social media and say, hey guys, I'm an agent now, and have deals come your way. It's just not going to happen that way.
But so many agents do. They throw their name out there and say, hey, call me. And they don't see that.
In part, what value are they providing by saying, hey, I'm an agent now?
None.
They've given no value to the other people. So
None.
Providing value, learning how to provide value. So in this case, when you're representing buyers, having a property, that's valuable. I know what the good properties are. With sellers, there's other value adds you can learn to where sellers are, okay, I want to use that agent because of the value that agent's going to provide to me.
Well, and one thing that I think you can do that a lot of people aren't doing as much is open houses. Now, everybody says, oh, yeah, I do open houses, but how frequent do you do them? And how many unrepresented buyers are coming through those open houses right now? And learning how to capture the business of someone that you know is looking at a house because they're there without an agent and want to buy a home. How do you capture them? What time are you spending to learn how to capture them? And are you doing enough open houses that you can get good enough to capture business right there?
So why are agents not volunteering to hold open houses for other agents that just don't want to do them, right? They can totally jump into that. But I think there's another angle to what you just said. So let's say you're at that open house and that unrepresented buyer comes through. There's a little bit of magic on how to get that unrepresented buyer to use you.
For sure.
So having the right training, right? Knowing the right questions to ask, the right sales skills to turn that client. And maybe agents are just missing a lot of that kind of training.
Well, and you need to be knowledgeable. Once again, it goes back to having the research, knowing what the market's doing, knowing what interest rates are doing, knowing what projections are for home prices, appreciation scales, and knowing the area. If these people are looking in a certain demographic, you got to know that demographic. Hey, I sell a lot of homes here. This market's going at this price, and this is what's going to happen over the next 3 years. This is what's coming into the area. And as you meet with these people and just have a casual conversation, it doesn't need to be, let me pull out a spreadsheet or my computer and let me show you some graphs, but have enough knowledge in your head that you can help those people feel comfortable going, why would I use anybody else? Duane's a rock star.
Well, and something I get just from listening to you is I can feel your confidence. Agents, I think, lack confidence. They lack confidence when they're in front of people.
Why? Why do you think they lack confidence?
They don't know what they're doing. They don't have the right training.
They've not done it.
They don't know what kind of skills or questions to ask. They don't know what kind of, like you said, they don't understand the market research. They understand what the market is doing. So they're probably not role playing.
For sure.
And if they are role playing, they might be role playing with someone who is not really good at role playing.
So I think most new agents out there, or people that are struggling in their business, they feel like they're giving effort, but in reality, are they putting in all the effort? So one thing I would always say to an agent that is struggling, write down what you did today. At the end of the day, I want you to write down exactly what you did and see how much time you spent on what, and was it business building activities, and how did it affect your business? And if you're not doing it well, change it. Get to where you're doing things that will change your business.
You know something that surprises me? How many real estate agents, like just asking them, what time did you wake up today? So the thing that's interesting about real estate, I think it draws people who want to be their own boss. Well, why do you want to be your own boss? Well, I want to work my own hours. I want to be able to take off when I want. Yeah. And suddenly there's not this accountability. If you don't show up, you don't get a paycheck, and you're going to get fired. They're waking up too late. They don't really have a system or a structure they're deciding to follow. They're not really maintaining accountability for themselves. Now that they're their own boss, they realize they can't be their own boss really well, and they might be at a brokerage that's not giving them accountability, teaching them the regimen they need to follow. Honestly, the switch from whatever career you're currently in and you come into real estate, you've got to go into that as a mindset of, not, I'm free now. I'm my own boss. You need to come into that mindset saying, I'm about to do the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life, and hold yourself accountable to that. Because if you can do that, you can take it off. You can take off with it. And yes, your business can get to that point where you can take off multiple weeks in a row and have systems in place where you're just earning money, closing deals, and not even being involved with it. And those are things that we teach. Not time for this particular podcast, but how you can be gone and be away and have everything running for you and you're earning money. It's great. So yes, you can get to that spot in life, but it's not once you get your license day one. That's not where you're at. You're working toward that.
I remember when I first started, Craig, and I was leaving a job. I was making over $300,000 a year. And I was moving into a field that I had no clue what I was doing. I had not sold real estate. I didn't have anybody to train me. And I remember being scared to death to figure out, holy cow, how am I going to replace my income? And what am I going to do? And I think it pushed me to go so much harder than I've ever gone, because I needed to replace an income that I had prior to. And I think oftentimes the way agents go into this thinking, we got this. Look at all these agents and how well they do, and they don't put forth the effort to drive and grind.
Well, I think our society is taught that as long as you go through these various classes and you get these various grades, that suddenly society owes you something. that your diploma, that your degree, whatever it may be,
Right.
that's all you need, and now you're going to earn money. But that's not how it is in real estate. That's not how it is. They don't care what your GPA is. They don't care what college you went to or if you went to college at all. That's not how real estate is. And that's the beauty of it. That's why you can have an 18-year-old come in and a 19-year-old come in and start doing really well from the beginning. And it's why you could have someone who's very educated not succeed. The principles of success, which is so awesome in real estate, the principles of success have nothing to do with what society has branded you with.
And I think as long as you have work ethic, we can teach the rest.
Yeah.
And anybody can do it. It's just a matter of knowing what to do, how to do it, and then going forth and putting forth the hard work.
It's a rewarding career. And we want everybody to succeed. And everybody can, applying the right principles, the right training, the right systems.
I agree. Guys, thanks for joining us today on the D2D Real Estate Show. We look forward to working with you more. We do podcasts all the time. Follow us on social media. And we also will do a webinar once a month. So join us on the webinar. We'd love to meet with you more and help you build your business and get to where you want to be.